Good day all, it is 5 minutes past 5 on what we're told is the 2nd of the 1st 2025. Before I go any further, I'd just like to wish me Auntie D. She wasn't me real auntie, but she was there in my childhood and whatever. Many great memories of family parties at Christmas and the New Year, where Dee, Boise and their children were part of it. Boise went a few years back. Amazing voice. And it is one of the highlights of my local singing career to have sung with Boise in the Angling Club once, so I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. But he went before Dee, and now Dee passed away today, and I just like to remember her and wish her well on her journey, and send my heartfelt thoughts of love and condolences to those she left behind, especially my Auntie Julie. They were very, very good friends for so many years. But anyway, onward and forward. This is the South Preservation Society, my main channel on Bitchute. If you're watching it anywhere else, link to it in the description box below. I'm Bazzzilll, broadcasting truth and therapy, and here I am using the talking stick. It's been an interesting couple of weeks, people. Interesting couple of weeks. And the phrase, by their deeds ye will know them, springs to mind. We've had the fog, haven't we? We've had the fog, and some of you have still got the fog. There's some information for you there on the right. A couple of days ago, the Gregorian calendar changed from December to January, and people who dance to the tune of their masters and don't think about it were celebrating what they called the New Year. It wasn't. It's just what the illusion, the matrix, the control system has you believe. And for me, it's really, really interesting. Really interesting, because by your deeds you will know them. I have often told you, those of you that have been listening to me for a while, how 40 years ago, last July, with the passing of my maternal grandfather, it set me off on a journey where the auntie I mentioned earlier, the Auntie Julie, took me eventually to see my first medium, September of 1984, because I couldn't get over the grief, the loss and the pain of losing my maternal grandfather. Christine Cuenca was the medium's name, and by far the greatest medium I've ever seen over these last 40 years. One in recent years has come close to her. A couple over the previous 40 years have come close to her, and I'm going to pay homage and my respects to those people. But it is tempered. Christine Cuenca delivered a standard of mediumship that I'm still appreciating and coming to awareness of today, 40 years, over 40 years after it happened. But she encouraged me to go to the Spiritist Church, which I did. And the very foundations of my awareness are firmly anchored there. What we call today modern day spiritualism started with the Fox sisters in Hydesville, New York, and their father, in the year 1848, where rappings were heard. And if you're interested, do a deep, in-depth study, which is what I've been doing most of my life. And certainly when I first started on this journey, investigated spiritualism, all its components, this, that and the other, sought to understand it and what it represents. And what it represents for me is not necessarily what it represents for the herd. I'm very, very, very much in the minority as far as appreciation, understanding and respect of the spiritual self, spiritualism, spirituality, this, that and that. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that lightly. And bear with me as I go on, and perhaps you will get an understanding of it. But these last 2 weeks I have spoken the truth about Christmas, for instance, and what it really is about. And it's fecal, nothing at all to do with the birth of the Nazarene Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth. Nothing at all to do with that figure at all, if indeed that figure was real. Nothing to do with that figure at all. And if you only did but think for yourself and dared to question, then you would come to the same conclusions. In the same way, the turning of the clock from December the 31st to January the 1st as fecal, nothing literally to do with the new year. Jamie Freeman, if you know of him on Facebook, over the last couple of days done a brilliant post and then a audio presentation, video presentation on Facebook about how we went from the calendar of Caesar, Julius Caesar, to the calendar that we now use, the Gregorian calendar, in 1582 at the behest of Pope Gregory XIII. What that should intimate to you, just seeing how the calendar is changed, how time and how we express it, feel it, see it is not real. Because they can change it just like that. And they do, and we go along with it. Have a deep, meaningful, philosophical diatribe, thinking about that very point. Philosophise over it. Philosophy, to seek the truth. One who seeks the truth. When I look in spiritualism and see the hypocrisy of people that say that they have your best interests at heart, it's not just in spiritualism, but it's something close to my heart. But it's with truthers, this, that and the other. Cynic with the stand in the park fell out with Fifi because she was wishing everybody a happy Christmas and then a happy New Year and whatever. And she still won't, people like that still won't take it. They still won't admit to the lies. Their ego will not allow them to do it. Mine does, because I fought and conquered the ego. And it doesn't get hurt anymore. And if it does, it's because I've hurt it by not working, walking, standing in honour. Nobody else can hurt my ego, only me. And I control it. These people Well, it's not just these people. It's those that put them on pedestals and give them power. Whether it's those in spiritualism, in the truth of movement, in government, whatever. World Economic Forum, World Health Organization, this, that, and that. I've said many times before, Bill Gates, for instance, is not to blame. Don't point a finger at Bill Gates. He's done fuck all wrong. We've done everything wrong by complying, going along with it. Whether it be Bill Gates or any other form of control outside of us, we are totally and utterly, individually and collectively responsible for allowing the words, deeds and actions of and other to have control and dominion over us. Of that, there is no mistake. Benjamin Netanyahu is doing nothing wrong. Those that are order followers, that follow the orders of another and their edicts, as Mark Passio told you in a brilliant presentation, and Larkin Rose has also spoke about in the past. Larkin said, I do not blame the moustache dictators, meaning Hitler, Mao and Stalin and people like that. I blame them that give their power away to them. And that's us people. And what we ultimately do, it all boils down to giving our power away to the lies and living the lies and having our ego offended when somebody like me challenges you about it. Whether you're in the truth of movement, so-called truth of movement, or spiritualism, or wherever. I'm not perfect. I don't profess to know it all. But I know what I feel. And I know my intention is pure and honourable and just, because I'm not seeking to hold court, dominion or power over you. I don't want to court favour with you. I don't want you to buy anything off me. Said repeatedly again and again and again. I just want you to pay attention. So spiritualism started me off on this journey, which is cultivated many different subjects, thought processes and whatever. And in the words of Yoda, I've learnt and then I've unlearned in order that I may learn again. And I continue to do that. And I do not live my life as a lie. That's why I'm isolated in the way that I am. I have very few really good, close personal friends. Because I will not sacrifice my integrity in order to appease others. I've put a few posts on the Deal Spiritual Centres page and they've deleted them. They sit there and wait for me now. They must all be on guard in case I put anything there. They don't want someone like me speaking the truth on their page. And it's the same wherever you go. In spiritualism especially. And it's the same with the truth of the movement. But I've recently looked at probably the greatest spiritist church I've ever been into in my life at Dereham in Norfolk. And I've got great memories of going in there for the first time. The medium serving was a woman called Linda Ray. She gave me an amazing message, this, that and the other. I remember walking in there and seeing a cabinet there. Blown away by that. You don't see that in spiritualist churches. And just to touch briefly on it, people, if you've ever done a sweat lodge ceremony and a nippy ceremony, or if you've ever been fortunate enough to do a whippy ceremony, then you will have some understanding of what the cabinet is to a physical medium like myself. And when I saw that cabinet, I don't know how many years ago it was, there was a little old lady there, obviously something to do with the church, and we got into a conversation, and this little old lady, I'll never forget her, Durham Spiritualist Church, Wickshard, never forget her. She was telling me about how she'd been in it that long and she'd seen people like Estelle Roberts and this, that and the other, Helen Duncan, Helen Hughes, I believe she remembered saying, and many other proper mediums. Not these, I'm not talking about somebody who stands up there and gives you clairvoyance. I'm on about a proper fucking medium. Mediumship, spiritualism is founded on physical mediumship, not this mental bollocks that you get today. And so many people think is brilliant. It isn't. It's taken me 40 years to come to this understanding and this awareness. Because what I see with these people, they stand on a platform and then they give a good message and people say, oh, you're wonderful. And then they've got them. They've got them. There's a psychic connection made and they suck their fucking energy out of them. Mental energy, emotional energy, physical energy, material energy, money, etc. Most of these mediums you see today are all about that and protecting that. Most of these people that run churches and centres today are all about that and protecting that and being seen, being put on a pedestal, this, that and the other. And it's the same with truthers. It's the same with truthers. Making a name for themselves, this, that and the other. Starting a fucking group, this, that and the other. A worldwide group standing up against COVID, the lies of COVID, and then they wish you a happy fucking Christmas or a happy New Year. Don't judge them for that. Judge yourself for falling for that bollocks and those lies and that deceit. You're to blame. We're to blame individually and collectively for letting people like that, whether they be truthers, mediums, government, whatever, riding roughshod over us, because we're always reaching outside of ourselves for something that we can't see within ourselves. Don't want to see within ourselves in fear of it. Not me. Not me. And not this channel. Everything on this channel is about bringing knowledge, information, and whatever to you to empower, enlighten, and enable you to cast off the shackles that you can't see, to step out of the shadows into the light of the self that you're in fear of, and stop having your path illuminated, controlled by somebody else's fucking light, because that ain't real. That, my friends, is simply not real. I want you to have a good long look at this here. Read it, then read it again. Then when you've read it again, read it I've said that deliberately. Read, R-E-A-D. Read, R-E-A-D. Same word, different pronunciation. That is sort of expresses what I, in my clumsy, often naive way, have tried to express to you here. Creation is born from the womb of woman, and it was singular to start with. Androgynous, feminine energy that was corrupted, bastardised by what Castaneda called the predator mind, what I call spirit. All spirit is or has the potential to be demonic. I don't care how fucking spiritual, love and light that you think you are, it is fuck all compared to what the true essence of self is. That genderless, androgynous expression of creation itself that is your soul. Have a good, long, hard look at that. I want you to think very deeply about what I said. I don't want you to think about me at all. I want you to think very deeply about what I've said so far and what I will continue to say. What is recorded on my main Bitchute channel and whatever. And if I want anything from you, it is for you to wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up to those that seek to control, manipulate you in order that they may profit off you. Whether it's a truther, a fucking medium, whether it be your governments and anywhere else, sports stars, movie stars, sport, whatever. Wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. When I first started this journey, I read the books. The Arthur Findlay books, for instance. The Rock of Truth. The Edge of the Etheric. The Age of Ignorance. This, that and the other. And I read all that stuff. I read about the pioneers, the so-called pioneers of this movement. William Crookes being one of them. Look up Sir William Crookes and Katie King, I'll say that often, and learn the story of the mediumship of Florrie Cook. And whatever. Learn about Jack Webber. Learn about Jack Webber. Learn about Alec Douglas Home and people like that. Stop. I don't care who you are, and I don't care who I fucking offend. If you're in spiritualism especially, I want to fucking offend you. So you can have a look at yourself and judge yourself. If your words, deeds and actions have no integrity or honour behind them. The same with you in the truth movement. If your words, deeds and actions have no integrity or honour or justice or truth behind them. Couldn't give a fuck about those that seek to hold dominance over us. That's not where we should be starting, people. We should be starting right at the bottom of that so-called fucking pyramid. And we should be starting with the self. And then we should look outside the self. Once we've seen the lies that we, the self, have lived by, give energy to, and once we wake up to see that, we can then see the lies outside of ourselves and those that seek to control us. And basically, they know fuck all. They think they know it. They think they know so much in spiritualism, in the Truther movement, this, that, and the other. They think they know so much. They know fuck all. And I say this with all the humility, I've ripped most of them to fucking pieces. And I know jack shit. I know jack shit. What I know, you could write on the back of a postage stamp. What I don't know is infinite. There is no end to what I don't know. I realise that with real eyes, and I've seen the real lies. Some people haven't seen that yet. And me speaking the way that I do, because it's the right thing to do, and I do it for the right reasons, offends them and offends their ego. Well, if your ego is offended, don't tell me you're awake. If your ego is offended, don't tell me you're spiritual. Your ego will not be offended by anything I say if you have truly awakened, starting to awaken, on the path of awakening to the true self, the conscious self. Your ego will not be offended. It's only the mind and the spiritual self and the physical self and any aspect of it that will be offended by anything I have to say. But you, the true self, will not be offended by it. You will embrace it, as I have done when I've listened to stuff over the years that has challenged me and made me think. Set me off on this journey of becoming aware. I've told you before, and I have no problem telling you again, when I was developing my physical mediumship, my 5 sitters, on more than one occasion, see this figure that you know historically as Jesus Christ. I call this figure Sananda. But so you know what I'm talking about, we call him Jesus Christ. With me in the cabinet. Barbara Almond, the first time she'd ever seen me, speaking from a public platform, knew that, see that, and fucking felt it. Because when she delivered that message, she had to grab hold of something because she couldn't stand. Because she blended with the vibration and the frequency of that messenger. And whatever. She's one of those that I've met that have abilities and awarenesses akin to Christine Quenker. Rita Taylor was another. Look up Rita Taylor. Passed away a number of years ago now, but a woman of outstanding integrity and honour. An amazing psychic artist. Look up Ray Williams, founder of the Christian Spiritual Society and Healers Association down in Wales, Cardiff, Northcote Street. A man of outstanding integrity and honour. There's been a few of them. The Bert Inglis is of this world. I used to call him Doubting Thomas and whatever, but he wouldn't take shit from anybody, spirit or otherwise. He had to know and feel it for himself, the same way I do. The same way I do, and the same way you should. Because it's the right thing to do, and do it for the right reasons. If any of you are out there are not questioning those, including me, I often say to you, believe nothing, discount nothing, remember everything. And that includes everything I say. You've got to come to your own awareness. And it applies to those, anybody else you listen to. Don't care who they are. Don't care who they are. Stop putting making new fucking gods. New gods. I tell thee, ye are all gods. When you realise that, when you come to that awareness, with humility, with grace, and with integrity, everything changes. Nobody can change it for you. You've got to do it yourself. People like me can provide the tools or show you what tools you've got, but you have to take those tools and use them to break down the barriers that have restricted and controlled you in order that you can build again. And not even build again. You don't have to build again. You have to realise the real lies, what is already built within you, that you've had no faith or belief in, or you've been in fear of. If you join a truther group or a band of truthers and they're not speaking the truth, if they're wishing you a happy Christmas or a happy fucking New Year, or they're saying to you, oh, happy birthday, when it is in fact your born day, the anniversary of your born day, and not your birthday at all, then they can't help you until they first help themselves. So don't give them your power. Don't give them your energy, frequency and vibration. Don't give it to fucking mediums, or people that run churches and spiritual centres, all these love and lighters. Stop giving them your fucking power unless first you truly understand, have some comprehension of what your power is. They're hypocrites at worst, completely and utterly ignorant at best, and driven by their ego. Controlled by their ego, controlled by their mind. Sam Cooke said a change is going to come. It's got to come from you first, from us first. I'm speaking to you individually. There's a collective that will listen to this, but I'm speaking to you individually. You, the one listening now. Wake up to the self. Rub the sleep from your own eyes, and you'll see those that deceive you, because you will see and understand how you have deceived yourself. And when you deceive yourself, it's so easy for others to deceive you, because they can see and feel the weaknesses that you have. I don't care if that's Klaus Schwab, Donald Trump, Keir Starmer, or whoever's in charge wherever on any given day. I don't care if it's a so-called fucking truther or a so-called fucking medium. I've been going back into church, spiritual churches, for 9 years. And with only 2 possible exceptions, I have yet to have anything come from spirit, so-called spirit world, from anybody to empower, enlighten and enable me personally, or us the collective, as to how this reality works. I've not met anybody in spiritualism that does it. Maybe 1 or 2. And when I do it, they censor you, like they do at Deal Spiritual Centre. Don't go to that place, people, or places like that. or don't go back to them if they will withhold the truth, or they've got no understanding of the truth, or worst of all, like the hypocrites, the Philistines, they deny the truth. Don't go to these places. Go to find out. Don't go back if the truth isn't being spoken. Leave all those groups where lies are being protected, where people are wishing you happy Christmas and happy New Year. Now's the time for you to really stand up in your own power. Say to these people, these truther groups, these spiritual groups, this, that, and that, I cannot align myself to you living and you promoting the lie of Christmas or the lie of New Year. You have nothing for me and I'm leaving. Tell them. Make a stand. Let your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard. The most important person to hear your voice is you. Is you. You hear it first and then speak it. Speak the truth. Even if your voice shakes, speak the truth. Native American proverb. Change is going to come, people. But it starts with you. Are you ready to make that change? Are you ready? Are you ready to say to the ne'er-do-wells, those that just want something off you, those that want you to put them on pedestals, whether they be in the truther movement or any form of spiritual movement, this, that, and the other. Walk away from them. Let them sit alone on their own pedestals. And you build one for yourself based upon truth, integrity, honour, justice, love, and above all, care. And together, when we do this individually, together we make a fucking difference. If this message resonates with you, share the message. Don't share me. Share the message. In those truther groups, in those spiritual groups, those love and light groups, this, that, and the other. Most of them haven't got a clue. All they're doing for you is showing you how to reach outside of yourself for a saviour. And I'm telling you, you got to look in the fucking mirror for your one and only saviour. Palamia, thank you. In Lakesh, in UIC and enemy. Mitakwe o yasin. We are all related, we are all relatives. And I tell you, all my soul brothers and sisters, incarnated here and beyond, we're all connected. Let's stop being disconnected. See the spirit for what it is. See the mind for what it is. See the ego for what it is. And see the self for what it is. And once you see the self for what it is, you'll see others like you. And you will be drawn to them.